practice is not bad. And another thing I'd like to say about practice is that you can't fail at it. Think about a baseball player at batting practice. Can you fail at batting practice? No, it's the whole reason for the batting practice. And so every interaction we have with anybody in life is practice. Why is it practice? Because we're never going to be perfect at it, ever. Because that would mean we were perfect, and that's unattainable in this world. So it's not a reasonable expectation for us to have of ourselves at all. What's that mean? It means that everything we do is practice. You can't fail at it, but you will get better and better at it the more of the practice you have, won't you? Now, in the past, I've talked about the teeter-totter or the seesaw, whatever you want to call it. And I've said that the objective when it comes to relationships with people is never that the teeter-totter be completely tilted in favor of emotional health. Why, again, can that not be our objective? Because that would be perfection, and we're not perfect, and we will never be perfect in this world. So we cannot have as our objective perfection, because that's only deflating, it's only self-defeating, it's not reasonable. But what is reasonable? Is it reasonable that the teeter-totter be tilted completely in the opposite direction? So all of our friends are unhealthy. No, that's not reasonable either, because that's going to have an effect on us. We're not going to enjoy them if we're healthy. And if we spend enough time with them, we will begin to, their influence will begin to rub off on us. It will make us unhealthy. So the teeter-totter simply has to be tilted more in favor of emotional health, peace, contentment, tranquility. Just more in favor of. Not completely on the side of, just more in favor of. Now, if you look at your situation with your friends, let's say you've got a couple unhealthy friends, and you look at your life, and you realize that your teeter-totter is tilted more greatly in favor of emotional unhealth, disorder, and those sorts of things, you might need to get rid of a couple friends or spend vastly less amounts of time with them. You want to bring the teeter-totter not just into balance, but tilted more greatly in favor of emotional health. So my friends that I'm mentioning here, they don't proactively add more negative into my life than positive. If they did, I wouldn't be friends with them, or I would vastly cut back on my interactions with them. As it is, we only have dealings from time to time, and so it's not like we live together. It's like I see them maybe once a month, maybe twice a month at the most. So there's nothing wrong with having a friend or some friends who are emotionally unhealthy. It gives you an opportunity to contrast your attitudes with theirs and to practice techniques for keeping your peace and contentment even when dealing with people who work against it. Having a friend who's unhealthy is also not the same as having unhealthy friends, plural, in general. So it all goes back to that teeter-totter. You look at your life and the influences that they are contributing to your life and make a decision based on where you find that teeter-totter. Remember that the teeter-totter is never going to be tilted completely in favor of complete peace and contentment, because that would mean perfection. What else would it mean? It would mean an immunity to the realities that surround us in this world. But and so that's impossible. We don't want to have those unreasonable expectations for ourselves. That's not modest. It's not realistic. We want to be so healthy that we know how skillfully to handle unhealthy people and unhealthy things out there in the real world.